Welcome everyone. So in this lecture we are going to create the digital piano application. So let me show you the application that we are going to build in this particular module. So this is the final application that we are going to build in this particular module. So you can see we have this bunch of tiles of, you can say that the piano keys. When I click on it, then you can see there is a music actually playing. So each and every node has the same music because I have used the same sound file. You can use a different sound file if you want. The main idea is how we can play the music when click off this particular keys, and also how can we style this particular layout. So this is a small application, just actually uses an external assets to play the music. So our first step is to start with the HTML part of the project, which is piano application, or you can say that the digital piano application. So our first step is to start with the HTML part. So for that, I have already created the three files, which is index.html, style.css and script.js file. Also, before moving forward, we need to create the sounds folder inside this project folder, which is digital piano application, or whatever directory you have named it. Instead of that, you need to place the sound assets. If I click on this sound folder, I have already created the folder so I will right click on it and then simply going to click on the find folder, or maybe this particular one. Instead of that, I have already created the sound folder, so I'm going to right click on it and click on the reveal in file explorer. So you can see now this folder is empty, so I'm going to open the another folder. So you have to download this resources under the resources section of this particular lecture. So once you extract this RAR file, then you will get these sounds files. So you need to copy these sounds files. Then I'm going to close this window and coming back to the window where we have actually used the reveal in file explorer command. Instead of that, you need to place all the other sound files. Now if you come back to the Visual Studio Code, you can see these are the list of sound files now present inside the digital piano application under the sounds directory. So now we are ready to use these sound files inside our project. Now I'm going to click on this Explorer tab so that you can see everything more clearly. Now our first step is to start with the main container, which is a piano container. So I'm going to use here a emit shortcut. So this is going to be like piano, and I will be using here a hyphen container, and then pressing the tab key. So this will actually auto complete the div tag with the class name piano container. And inside of that, we need to first use an h1 element, which is for the heading for this one, and then we need to place here a piano app, the heading that you want, or you can just simply use a digital piano application as well. Now if I control save it, then you will see the text is actually appear inside the browser screen. Next we need to place the another element, which is actually a div tag. So it is going to act as a main container, but we don't need to specify any selector inside of it. Instead of that, we need to place the button. So this button is going to be like have an on click event. Instead of this on click event, not on blur, it is going to be like on click. So this is our on click event, and inside of that we need to call the function which is like a play sound. And then inside of this we need to pass a parameter inside the single quotes, which is a character C. So this C character is actually denotes the sound file. So whatever character we are actually passing it here as a string, because inside the single quote is treated as a string, but right now we are actually passing a single character, so it is treated as a character here. So we are passing a single character. That string represents this particular node type. So we are going to give the reference. So make sure whatever you are passing here, it is going to match inside of these particular characters. So again, for the another button, when we copy and paste it, then we need to pass the A, B, C. So these are we are giving the reference to these particular sound files .mp3. Alright, and then we need to provide here another attribute, which is a class attribute. So this one is actually for the white key. White and then hyphen, and then we need to provide the key element, and then inside of that we need to provide the C character for the button. Now you can see the button is visible inside the browser. Similarly, I'm going to duplicate this line of code one more time. We need to again pass here a character which is going to be double C, and then here also double C. Then we need to give the class name to black key. Okay, so this will be the CSS for the black key. And then we need to copy these lines of code like 4 more times. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I think we need to copy it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Then we need to change these parameters. So this is going to be D, and this is going to be DD. Not DD. DD is the next one. that is this one is going to be d hash, and this is actually our d. Alright, and this one is again, now it's this particular one term, so this is going to be capital E, and here we need to provide the capital E. Then the play sound is going to be like capital F, then this one is going to be capital F. Alright, and then we need to provide here a FF, and this one is going to FF, and then here we need to change the G, and this one is also going to be G, because the text, if I control save it, now these buttons are appearing inside the application. Then we need to change this particular one parameter, that is double G. Then here we need to provide the double G, not F, it is going to be double G. Then this one is going to be our capital A, and here it is also going to display capital A. If I control save it, now the values of the buttons is changed, the text. And then we need to here provide the double A, and this is also going to be double A. Actually here the single quote is missing, that is why it's giving the error. And then this is the second last one, because there is one more is left, it's like B, not a button, and then here we need to provide the B as well. Alright, and then we need to again copy the white one that has a white class key, and then it's going to be like our C2, and this one is also our C2. Okay, so that's my completion of the code for the HTML part. So the next step is to start with the CSS part of the particular digital piano application. So now our next step is to start with the CSS part of the piano application. So for that, first we need to link the style.css to our index.html. So for that we need to use the link tag. Inside of the link tag we need to provide the style.css, because right now these style.css is actually present in the same directory. So that is the reason I have used here a style.css. And also we need to add here a script tag, so that we can link our script.js. So src, it's going to be like src, and then we need to provide here a script.js. Now our script.js file is also linked with the index.html. So for the CSS part we need to come inside this style.css file. So first I need to style the body element. So the body element, and inside of that we need to use the font family. So font family I'm going to use here a Arial Helvetica font, and then inside of that I'm going to use the text align property. So text align is going to be center of the screen, and then we need to provide the background color. So background color, like I want to use here a random color background, and this is the background color I'm going to use it for this particular project. Then we need to provide the style sheet for the piano container. So this will be the style sheet for the piano container, and inside of that we need to provide the padding. So padding is going to be 10 pixel. Okay, and then we need to provide here a h1 tag, which is to style the h1 element, and then we need to remove its margin top property. So margin top is going to be 0, and then padding is also 0. Then you can see it's actually moved a little bit from its default position. Then we need to provide the style for the buttons. So we need to directly selecting the button here, and first we need to provide the width. So width is going to be 60 pixel. Then you can see the width of the buttons are increased now. Then we need to provide the height of these particular buttons. The style is going to apply to the all buttons because we are directly styling with the button name element, which is the button tag. And then we need to provide the margin property. So margin from all sides is going to be like 2 pixel. Then you can see margin from the buttons is actually increased. And then we need to provide the font size property. So the font size is going to be like 16 pixel, and then we need to provide here a border. So the border is going to be like about 5 pixel, and then we need to here use the cursor property. So cursor is going to be pointer. Alright, so now we need to provide here a border is going to, instead of border we need to here specify the none, and then need to provide the border radius. So border radius is going to be 5 pixel. So now you can see the piano keys is actually styled properly. Next we need to provide the colors to white and black keys. So for that we need to use here a white key. This is a block of the white key, and then we need to also provide here a black key, and then we need to provide here a color first, because once we specify the background color, then it is actually not visible. If I just save it, then you can see. So for the text is visible, we need to provide the color which is like black, or I can use here this blue color. Okay, and then for the white key, we need to provide the another background color which is going to be Alice blue. So this is the code for the buttons. So our next step is to start with the script part of the application, because the styling of the application is done properly. Script part of the application, we need to use the script.js file. Instead of that, we need to create this function which is play sound function, that is actually accepting a parameter. So here first we need to use the function keyword function and then pasting the name of the function which is play sound, and then instead of that we need to provide the parameter. So it is actually going to be a note. Note means the particular note when we click on the button is going to play a note. Okay, note means like a sound. So we need to create here a variable which is var audio, and then we need to here use the new operator, and then again we need to use here audio, means we need to create the object of the audio class audio, and instead of that we need to provide the path of the sound folder, and then after that we need to play the, we're going to specify the part once we set the playing to this particular audio object which is audio variable au. This is our audio variable, and then we need to call the play function to play the audio, and inside of this audio object we need to pass the folder name. So this is actually our sounds folder. Sounds folder, so it is by default looking at the same directory where the sounds folder exists, and then we need to provide the /, and then we need to provide the plus operator to concatenate the things with the note which is a parameter, because that has the string character plus note, and then we need to concatenate it with the use of the .mp3 which is the extension of the sound files. Right now you can see all the files have the .mp3 extensions. So that marks the completion of the code for the JavaScript part of the project, because it is very simple. If I click on it, then you can see the sound is actually playing. If I click on every button, that is will be a very irritating for you guys, because it is going to record the sound in the 100% volume. So that sound is going to be like very high. So that is why I'm not going to click on the other buttons as well, because right now I'm also wearing the headphone. So the sound of these entire PC is actually like 100%, so it is very loud. Okay, so that marks the completion of the code for the piano application. So if you like this course, then leave a review, because your review definitely going to help me to increase the quality of my courses. So thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you.